welcome back to HITC Sports to the game. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at every single highest paid player at each Premier League club. These stats and figures we've researched online, they may not be exact, just so you all know, and the rating from 1 to 10 is going to be based on their ability, how much they're getting paid, and should they be the highest paid at their club. Just so you know, let's hop straight into the video with Brentford. So for Brentford, we have Aya. He's been decent for the money that he's on. He's on 35,000 a week, which when you see some of the other wages in this list is nothing at all. He's very young still. They signed him from Celtic. He's a good centre-back with a good range of passing. He gets a few assists. He can, read the pitch well, ping a pass there, ping a pass there. He's good. He's decent. Ivan Toney would be a bit sad. He's not the fat cat at Brentford, but what can you do? What can you do? For me, Aya, 7 out of 10. Norwich City, and we have Ben Gibson on £43,000 a week. Definitely the worst between him and Grant Hanley. Makes mistakes and maybe shouldn't be their highest earner, but still not crazy money. 4 out of 10. Up next we have Watford with Sarr, £71,000 per week. 23 years old, can play a range of positions from left wing to right wing to striker. Still only 23. Can be a well-beater at times. He can be inconsistent. There's games where you'd be like, Jesus, is he playing? You know what I mean? He's like one of them players, he's there or he's not there. 71,000 isn't a terrible amount, to be fair, seeing that, he's still got a bit of time ahead of him and he has put in some amazing performances at times. So yeah, Sarr, 5 out of 10. Burnley, Ben Mee is the highest paid player at Burnley. Burnley have kept their wage payouts quite low, despite their highest earner being Ben Mee on 73,000 a week. He's strong and experienced. He's worth every penny, really. He can play fullback, he can play centre back. Probably the better out of him and Tarkowski. Up to you to decide. But yeah, overall, not too bad at all. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Up next, we have Dendoncker at Wolves. Nearly 4.7 million a year. That works out roughly about 90 grand a week. Hasn't been brilliant of late, you know what I mean? Especially for 90,000. He's 26 now, no longer really considered a youngster. You can't really say, oh, he's got time. He still has got time, but he's just not a young prospect anymore. He was 2-3 seasons ago. Now, when you get to that point, you really need to be hitting your Amazon Prime. And he's been failing to hit that Prime. So, yeah, shouldn't be their top earner at the club with all the other talent they have. So, for me, Dendoncker, 3 out of 10. Brighton. Adam Lallana, just over 90,000 a week. That's nearly 4.8 million a year. He earns the most at Brighton. He earns, as I just said, 4.7 million. Sorry for repeating that point. I just don't see how a player of his quality is on 4.7. That's almost 13 times more than their lowest earner, Aaron Connolly. It's crazy when they contribute the same amount, in my opinion. Adam Lallana on his own counts for 10%. 10% of all of Brighton's wage expenses. 10% just for Adam Lallana. But is he worth it? No, far from it. That's a lot of money for somebody that barely plays, gets games, and is pretty injury prone. So for me, on 90,000 a week, I'm going to do it. My first ever, 0 out of 10. At Newcastle, we got two new signings coming in at 100,000 a week. We've got Chris Wood and we've got Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier, what a signing. La Liga winner, free kick god, and a decent leader. He's worth every penny. For me, 7 out of 10 for Kieran Trippier. For Wood, hasn't really stepped up yet. He's still got time and not terrible wages for what he was doing for Burnley over the last couple of seasons. So he's still got a bit of time to go. So for me, I'm going to give him a 3 out of 10. Leeds United with Rodrigo. He's on 100,000 a week as well. Rodrigo could be hit or miss. Has great games, always bad games. Could be very up, could be very down. Your top earner has to show their worth every game. They need to lead by example. They're on the most amount of money for that reason, and Rodrigo just doesn't do that. So for me, let's go with 5 out of 10. Up next we have Southampton with James Ward-Prowse. Only 100k a week. 26 years old, their captain, their leader, best free kick game in the league, 100,000 a week for all that. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my 10 out of 10 cherry here. 10 out of 10. Yerry Mina at Everton, 120,000 a week. When he started out there first, he was good. He was solid. still hasn't been terrible. You know, 120,000 for me, he's shown class in the past, but for me, just not 120,000 worths a week. Injuries have really given him a hard time, but unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with a 2.5 out of 10. The Mighty Hammers, West Ham with Kurt Zouma. Only 120,000 a week. Not too bad. Been decent, and no, I'm not gonna go there with that joke. I know what you're all thinking. That joke's been done well too much. I don't want to be kicking a dead cat here. Ooh, controversy. But seriously, he's been okay. With everything going on, I think he's managed to keep his head down and still be okay/decent. So fair play, Kurt Zouma. 6 out of 10. As we just hit the halfway point in the video, I would just like to all remind you to leave a big, huge, stinking like, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell so you never miss an upload. So let's jump straight back into it with Aston Villa. Who is the highest earner at Aston Villa, you may be asking? It is Danny Ings, 120,000. For the wages he's on, you expect better, to be honest. He's had a terrible season since swapping over from Southampton. It just hasn't gone right for him. I do think next season we will see, you know, him come back into form. Maybe if they swap manager again, the system changes. But for me, overall, I do love Danny Ings, but simple, 3 out of 10. Wilfried Zaha is the highest paid player at Crystal Palace, earning 130,000 a year, basically the equivalent of just under 7 million, about 6.8 million pounds per year. No joke, he could be a world beater on his day. He's had poor seasons, poor spells, a poor attitude at times, and really that impacts him very negatively in his form. He could be pure class or he could be pure. But all in all, he's had brilliant seasons in the past. He's been very good. He's looking okay this season. So 130,000 a week, 6.5 out of 10. Leicester City with Jamie Vardy, 140,000 a week. He's an icon of the club. He's an absolute icon of the club. He's getting on a bit now, but for what he's done with that season when they came up and they won the Premiership, which we'll never forget. Best football story of all time, and he was a key part of that. He's their highest earner the last season or two. You know, we've seen him start to decline slightly, but Jamie Vardy for me, you know, the only real that's the only negative I can give him is that he's fell off, but he's getting on, he's getting old, but he's definitely earned his money. So yeah, Jamie Vardy, me old pal, let's give you 7 out of 10. Tottenham with Harry Kane. Let's go! 200,000 a week, that roughly works out about 10.5 million per year, and it was looking very bad for Kane at the start of the season. But he's starting to get his form back. He's looking good when dropping deep, which he's fantastic at. He's looking good when he's in the box, and when he's one-on-one with the keeper now, his finishing's back where it used to be. So Kane, yeah, when you're talking 200,000 a week, you're talking elite players. And Kane is definitely an elite player, without a doubt. He could go to another club and get a lot more money. So for 200,000 a week, I'm gonna have to give Kane a solid 8.3 out of 10. At Arsenal, we have Thomas Party. 200,000 a week. That's been pretty solid. I've only seen a few shaky games from him since joining Arsenal, but he's very consistent now. Overall, he breaks up attacks, good range of passing, more than decent on the ball, pretty good. I just don't think he's worth 200,000 a week. When you compare his impact on his team in comparison to other players in a similar wage bracket, I just don't think he hits the mark. So overall, solid 6. Bada bing, bada boom. Boom, boom, boom. Liverpool with Van Dijk, 220,000 per week. That roughly works out about 11.5 million a year. What a player, what a man. I think there's not much to say really. He's fantastic. We saw Liverpool struggle when he was missing over the last couple of seasons due to an injury, but he is a complete and utter world beater. So for me, Virgil van Dijk, 9 out of 10, bud. Up next we have Chelsea with Romelu Lukaku. Where do I start? 325,000 per year. 325. Kane's only on 200. 325, that's basically 17 million a year. 5 goals in the Prem. 325,000 a week. No. No, just not good enough. I can't even get into this. This one's really, you know what? Second time this video, 0 out of 10. Man City next with Kevin De Bruyne. No. Ooh, controversy. £400,000 a week. That's the guts of 21 million a year. But Kevin De Bruyne, he gets goals, he gets assists like no tomorrow. I just don't think the man can score a bad goal. I think he is worth it. He's done it for seasons. I do think he'll go down as one of the Prem's best of all time. To be honest, Kevin De Bruyne 400 is steep, but I have to go with a 9.5. He's too good. And last but not least, we have Manchester United. Suey. Cristiano Ronaldo on 510,000 a week. A lot of money. That roughly comes out about 27, 26 million a year. That's a lot of cash. That is a lot of cash. But I'm sure they've made it back with sales and merchandise and everything like that. The man's an icon. He's a superstar. He's going to go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time, depending on who your GOAT is. And yeah, he showed his quality at the start of the season. He's since fell off, but it looks like he's getting back into form of late. So Cristiano, just because it's so much money and you have dropped in form, I'm not a Cristiano hater. I'm in the middle between Ronaldo and Messi. Just so you know, don't eat me. Ronaldo, 6.5 out of 10. And that's a wrap. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you had a great time. As I said earlier on, make sure you hit that big bell, make sure you hit that big like button, and make sure you hit subscribe. But other than that, leave a comment letting me know how you found the video, and I'll be back again soon. Much love all, peace out, Rev Boy from HITC Sports, peace. I'm breaking a lot of stuff in this video. Bullseye!